What's up, YTPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. This is take like 10. Tried many times to do this video response to Dighsk on the lake, but had some presentation issues, personal presentation issues. Forgetting to say certain things, going on random tangents. So I'm gonna give this one more shot, and hopefully I can pull it off. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, it means that I did pull it off, and I did make a video, at least to my standards, to put on YouTube. But anyway, housekeeping. Smoking my Dagner P3 Bent Bulldog with some Old Joe Krantz. And like I said, I'm doing a video response to Dighsk. Dighsk is doing his giveaway for a fellow YouTube pipe smoker who's becoming a monk. As a monk, you're not allowed to take worldly possessions, such as pipes and a really nice lighter. In this specific instance, Jay is doing a giveaway contest for this guy. And the giveaway prizes are 11 pipes, about 7 or 8 of which are really nice, very lightly used Petersons. And one Corona Boy look-alike, clone-ish, Peterson branded lighter. And to enter the contest, you need to send a positive message, make a video talking about a positive experience or a positive situation you found yourself in, maybe somebody who is very positive and influential in your life, or just a funny story. And that's what I'm going to attempt to do on this video. As a VR response to Jay's contest, I'm going to talk about my wrestling coach. Probably hear the wind. Wind's been picking up later in the night, even though it's, late spring, maybe early summer-ish, and that's fairly uncommon up here, but I digress. So, like I said, I'm going to talk about my wrestling coach. My wrestling coach was one of the most influential people that I've ever had in my life. He was one of the best mentors, and even though as an athlete, either as a wrestler or, when I used to do powerlifting, I've had coaches before. I've had people, coach and guide me before. And when I went to college, I got my degree in exercise science, so I've been exposed to a lot of coaches. And as far as the ones that I have met today, none have had a bigger impact, and none have been, none have really shown to be as good of a coach as my old wrestling coach. He took a team that started out as about a dozen or so wrestlers. This was my freshman year getting into wrestling. And that was common at the high school that I went to. You know, they had about 10, 12, 15 or so wrestlers, and, you know, they'd send a few to state. Obviously, with a few guys on a team, you're not going to do very well against other teams that send entire squads of people. So the high school that I went to never really did very well at wrestling until my wrestling coach stepped in and took over the program. And he was able to not only produce state championship level team, but he was also able to mentor us and turn us into better adults as a result of how he coached. And this is kind of where I ended up making several cuts and doing several takes, because I would go into these rants and I would talk about, you know, very specific examples, and I would go off on this tangent and that tangent. So rather than doing all of that, I think what I'll do is I'll talk about his two main philosophies on coaching and how that impacted us as a team and how it impacted us as individuals, and how as a team we were able to get our high school's first state championship trophy. And the team won back-to-back-to-back championships for many years. And before I go much further, I was an okay wrestler back in the day. At the top of my game my senior year, I was captain of the JV team, and I was undefeated as a JV wrestler. Against varsity wrestlers, I was okay. I was very, middle of the pack. Was never the very best, or even kind of close to it, but at the same time, I wasn't exactly the worst person on the mat. But I was still part of the team, and I was still one of the wheels that made up the machine that was our high school wrestling team, and everybody was like that. That's why we won as a team. And speaking of team, my wrestling coach believed that wrestling was a team sport. It wasn't an individual sport. Now, technically, I guess you could say it is, because, you know, wrestling's a very one-on-one kind of thing. I mean, it is literally a one-on-one kind of thing, but the thing is, we didn't rely on just a handful of star wrestlers. The reason that we won as a team is because we pushed each other, and everything we did was team-oriented. Everything from how practice was organized, how we practiced as individuals, we practiced more as a team than anything else. We kind of viewed ourselves as family, and being a team, our coach would punish us as a team and praise us as a team. If we won a duel, we won it as a team, or a tournament. If somebody did something they shouldn't have, grabbed a drink of water when it wasn't water break time, you know, talked out of turn when the coach was trying to speak, that kind of thing, everybody got punished for it. And that kind of instilled not just, you know, personal responsibility, but it helped us work as a team to make everybody responsible for our actions, and as a result, it made us as a team a lot better. individually, my wrestling coach believed that if you developed character, the winnings will come, and he's right. Um, and a lot of the character building was also part of the team building. This is also kind of where I lost myself with the other videos. I think instead of giving specific examples, which would make the video way too long, I mean, here I'm already at 10.5 minutes, what I'm going to do is give the 5 priorities that my wrestling coach had for us that we had to utilize as both students, wrestlers, and people. Like I said, we had 5 priorities as wrestlers. Priority number 1, and this is from, excuse me, this is from most to least important in terms of priorities. Number 1 was your religion. If you thought you were going to go to hell for something, don't do that thing. Of course, there were smartasses on the team that, oh yeah, I can't run 747s, coach. It's against my religion. You know, that kind of thing. 747s was where we would run the length of a wrestling mat, and we did this for seven laps. The last person made it in less than 47 seconds. The whole team had to do it over again. Your second priority was family, which was actually something that he put on to further instill the mindset that we are a family. He put that on a lot of our gear, particularly our long sleeve t-shirts. Talking a lot and not lighting my pipe here. That's better. Move that smoke out of your way. Number 3 was our health. That came after family because he wanted us to put others before ourselves, but at the same time, we needed to be cognizant of our own health. One of the ways that he would make sure that we were healthy for weight classes and cutting weights is he would actually have a doctor certify our weight classes. Which, back when I was in wrestling, and I wrestled between 2004 and 2008, and of course I can't speak for, the lower 48 or what they're doing now, but back then, that was kind of unheard of. I mean, yeah, it was an option, and some coaches did it. Most didn't, though. But our coach did, which was really cool of him, looking back on that, because there's a lot of health issues. I mean, I could go on for probably an hour talking about the health issues was associated with cutting weight too much. Especially at an age where your body is growing, it needs nutrients, and you're in a sport where, yeah, you gotta make weight, but your body needs the carbohydrates, the electrolytes, the water, all of those things necessary just to stay hydrated, not to mention fuel the body for the 2-minute bouts. Again, I'm going on another big tangent, so I'll just leave it at that. Number 4 was the grades. He didn't care if you were the star or the captain on the team. You weren't exempt from this. You had to make good grades. Not just because you needed to qualify for wrestling. He wanted us to succeed as people. He wasn't just looking at the short-term goals of, making us better wrestlers. Again, his philosophy is build better character, the winnings will come. But with better character comes better people. So grades were very important. And finally, after all of that, comes your wrestling. There's not much room for anything else. So, with that, I'm going to leave you with one funny story I have about wrestling. When I was, what was I? I was probably either a sophomore or a junior. I think I was a sophomore. Let me think about this. Yeah, it was the summer of my sophomore year. Yeah, because the summer of my junior year, we went to Coeur d'Alene. But this particular year, we went to Colorado. And, one of the things you can do in Colorado, Gunnison, Colorado to be specific, is whitewater rafting. I did not know this, but some of the wrestlers had taken bets that McKinney would fall out of the raft. We were doing, I think it was Class 3 rafting, whitewater rafting. About a little over halfway through this, through the track, or not the track, halfway through the river, the canoe that I was in, because I was in the same canoe with Coach, it tipped over something like this against a rock. McKinney started to fall out of it, so I went, "Oh shit, Coach!" And I went to grab him, and I think he would have been fine. I mean, we were in there pretty good, but, you know, the raft was at a pretty steep angle, and, so I grabbed Coach, and, we leveled off pretty quick, thankfully. When we got back on, Coach told everybody, he's like, "Holy shit, Dan saved me." And when we got on shore, everybody's like, "Oh shit, Dan, god damn it." We were betting that Coach was gonna fall off the raft. That was a good time. But I'm 18 minutes into this, so I think I'm gonna end it here. This has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. You guys have a good day.